Hey guys, today I'm going to go over and compare the Nitecore EDC17 and the Arcfield Pro Ultra. I can't remember what it's called. Obviously, if you clicked on this, it's in the title. Today, I'm not going to give you any specs. What I am going to do is show you what these specs, or my eyes, think in my hands. I'm just going to kind of give you an overview of using these both for about a week or two, and my thoughts and the differences between the two, which one I think that you might want to pick up, and why. So Olight is an amazing company. They've got some really, really innovative stuff. Nitecore also. Nitecore has been chasing like the most powerful lights that will burn holes in your pockets, which I have done. If you've done that, you know. So now we have the EDC17 and the Arcfield Pro Ultra, I think. Anyway, what we have here is two USB-C charging lights. Olight has always done a magnetic charging on the bottom. And what they did finally is they added a USB-C charger on the side, which is phenomenal. What is really cool about that is when you're traveling, I always have USB-C with me. So I don't always have the proprietary magnet charger. The magnet charger is great if you want to put it somewhere, like when you walk in your house, stick it on there, don't have to think about it, click. Magnets are amazing, it charges. When you pick it up, it's always charged. You don't have to go and open up the port and then, yeah, plug it in. Ports are there, covered in case you do find yourself in the elements. Your water won't get in, but I live in a place where mainly I don't really get that wet, so I don't really need the covers. Sometimes I just rip them off because they get in the way. And yeah, I live a fast-paced life, and I don't like to wait for things. Very impatient. All right, so we have four lights here. I'm just going to go over the UI, and then first I'm going to go over the actual lights. So we have on the Arcfield, we have two lights. We have four lights. Okay, we have, each one has a laser, each one has a UV, and the Nitecore has one light pattern, and the Ultra, or the Olight, has two. So it has a flood and a spot. They've combined them both in the Nitecore, which is fine. It's really cool and innovative to have both, but you do have to kind of think about which one you're going to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over all these, and then I'm going to put them on the backdrop here so you can see. And in my testing, I'll tell you what I've experienced. So both lasers are about the same. Both UV lights are about the same. The spot on the Olight is very similar to the spot on the Nitecore. There's a little more flood on there. And so I'm just realizing that the sticker is still on here. Probably didn't affect anything in my performance, but yeah, I don't know why it's on there. It's a clear sticker. Anyway, so you have this like OTF ramping, like out the front knife kind of thing on the Nitecore, which I love. It's very intuitive, and you have 4 modes, and so you can shine those, and you have a battery indicator that has 4 battery indications. So you have the spot and the flood all in one, and that's fine. If you push the button on the side, you toggle through laser and UV. The UV does have a step up in 4 increments, I think, yeah. So it does get brighter and darker. I do not use UV a lot except for fun and to check 120s and $50 bills, just so I make sure I'm not getting scammed. With the light, you can always push this side button on the Nitecore to access the laser, no matter where you are. Probably can't see it here, but let's go to UV. And we'll go, yeah, UV, and if you hold it down, nope, does not work with UV. Okay, so if you're on the spot, you can do spot and laser. So, and if it's off, you can just tap this button on the side and you'll get to laser. So you have 2 buttons. 1, 2. Very intuitive, very easy. Don't have to think about it. Push it all the way up for full power, bring it down. The UI on the Olight is a little different. They've always had, in most of their lights, a button. And if you hold the button down, you're going to cycle through power. Okay? So 1, 2, 3. And then you also have a double tap where you can double tap. And by double tapping, you reach about the same amount of light and power as the Nitecore. So you do have to double tap to get to the brightest mode. I'm not going to do runtimes or actual lumens because lumen, candela, all that is just going to be determined by my eye today. So you can look up the specs if you want, but I don't think they matter unless you actually see it. All right, so with the UI of the Olight, you turn it on. Okay, if you go to flood, it will maintain whatever power you're at. So fortunately, they have done these laser etching on the button. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, but they've done this laser etching on the button where you can see the power level you're at on the left side, and then on the right side, you're gonna see the amount of battery you have left. So the only problem with that is your thumb does cover it up, and it's gotta be, you know, darker than it is now, which is probably gonna be the case because it'll be at night. So if you hold it down, you'll rotate through those 3 modes, okay? And then you can go flood or spot. I found that the spot is very similar to the overall power of the Nitecore on turbo. Like I said, turbo is about the same. amount of light and power. So I just went in my backyard and I shined it out at trees. I got a little bit more distance and throw out of the spot, out of the Olight, so I could see a little further, like more defined what the trees were. I'll put that footage in now as I'm talking about this so you can see as they overlap. And then you've got all the way to the left, you got the UV, and UV does have 2 modes. So if you hold the UV to your finger, it does feel, you do feel the heat on it. I don't know, I put a laser thermometer on like some cilantro or like a cutting board, and it did bring it up about a degree every like 20 seconds or so. It didn't cook it. I think I maxed out at like 70, 71 degrees after waiting for about a minute. So it's not like it's gonna start a fire or anything, but you can feel the heat off of it. So it's not burning my finger, but I can feel like something's warm, you know. So anyway, so you have all these indicator switches on the side. So you got UV, you've got flood and spot. So really cool to have that. Do I really think it's necessary? I am happy to just have it all in one myself. Yeah, so ergonomics, the clip on the Olight is a better clip. It's got double directional. It is a little stronger, where I put the Nitecore EDC17 in my pocket, and it does feel like it's just slipping in and out pretty easily. I would like a little more tension on it, or like this one does have like this little kind of more of an angled ramp on it. So you can see this from the top down view, hopefully. You've got more of this angled ramp here, and more of a flat here, and not as strong as the clip. Not a big deal. I don't think I would reverse this like on a hat or anything because of the fact that it's so heavy. Yeah, in hand, I'm not going to tell you the weights, but the Olight feels heavier. It does feel a little wider. The Nitecore feels a little more ergonomic. It's got more texturing on it and just feels a little more tactical. I do think that the Olight one is pretty well designed. You have this like laser milled, I don't even know what it is on the sides, but it's like texturing. Feels like a fingernail file. So it does grab your fingers perfectly, like it feels great. And then on the top you're smooth, and then you've got all these index points. So the pocket clip is a good place to index and hold it, and really cool. But the Nitecore does feel a lot like my Benchmade OTF, my shootout. It just feels almost the same in hand, feels lightweight. For one on the run and go, and just everyday carry, I would probably pick the EDC17. The Olight is a great option to have, you know, on you as well. So, but it is bigger and does feel a little more substantial in your pocket. So. But anyway, I'm gonna come over to the camera. I'm gonna shine this on the backdrop so we can see a little more real time what these look like. All right, so we're gonna start out with, obviously we just have one light here. This is on the left, we have the EDC17. And on the right, let's see, ramp this up. Okay, so we can see right off the bat. Little bit different patterns. Of course, obviously the EDC17 is gonna do both. So it's gonna do a spot right here and a little flood. And then we've got just spot, and if we double tap the Olight, we can see very spotty, yeah. And a little warmer on the color, where it's set to daylight on these cameras. A little warmer on the color, which I prefer, versus cold light. Cold light does get a little brighter. Warm light is better on the eyes, especially at night. And so let's go over to the spot, and the spot will double tap. Nope, double tap. Okay, so we see the spot here, no spot, spot. Sorry, this is flood, flood, no flood, Olight, and then just the regular light here. So we've got a little bit of spill on the sides, not a significant amount, but the flood is pretty cool to have. So there you go. And then let's look at the lasers. I'm gonna go turn this off. That's the thing with this one here, is you will hold down, you can't see this right now very well, but if you hold down the side of the Olight at any time, you're gonna get laser. Same with the Nitecore. So lasers look about the same to me. Can't really tell. And I do feel like at the moment, the Nitecore is getting a little hotter to the touch. Let's turn these back on. Versus the Olight might be a little better heat dissipation with that aluminum and being a thicker body. But yeah, so here we can see, again, the spot, flood, spot, flood, and then just spot. So pretty cool. Yeah, we'll come up a little closer, and I'll just hold these up so you can see the patterns. So on the left, we have the Nitecore. On the right is the Olight, and we'll double tap. So that's regular power right there, and boosted, and flood. Cool. Awesome. Hopefully that is just helpful. I like these videos that show comparisons between the two, and just buy both, I guess. But if you don't want to buy both, yeah, do your own research. As far as price, I don't know what these cost. I don't remember. I did purchase them with my own money, but I bought them on sales, and it's the holidays, so I bought a lot of things. So I don't remember what I paid for everything. I just know that I still have money in my bank account for the winter, which is good. So anyway, I have a lot of flashlights. I might just do in the next video an overview of all the flashlights that I carry. I love Nitecore, makes great stuff. And then I love Olight. I've used Olight for years. I have some weapon lights with them too that I love. Streamlight I love. And then Rovivon is another one that is really cool. So stay tuned if you do like this video and you do want to see an overview of every flashlight that I own, which is probably like 20 flashlights, anywhere from a keychain to a spotlight, big spotlight. Then like this and then subscribe and say show me more in the comments. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.